reflect to Terry Gill being all wrapped up.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Knox County Ethics Committee. Uh, Madam Chairman, would you read the room? Take the room.
Virginia Anagnost, Perry Bill, Michael Covington, Rusty Goddard, Stephen Goodpasture, Catherine Ogrode, Carletta Randall Smelser, Debbie Stafford,
Here.
Byron Wood,
Here.
Courtney Durrett,
Here.
Marcus Kennedy,
Here.
Greg Stennett.
We have a quorum. Our devotional today will be delivered by Deborah Stafford.
Thank you. I'm reading today from In Touch Ministries. The title is The Transforming Grace of God. God can transform any sinner into a saint. From Romans 8, verses 28 through 30, one of the most miraculous displays of the Lord's power is his ability to transform an unrighteous man into a shining light of Jesus. The Apostle Paul is a great example of how God can change the religious into the redeemed. Sorry, the fonts are off on this. Before Paul's conversion, he was deeply religious, but not necessarily in a good way. He relied on his pedigree, performance, and piety to gain authority and acceptance. When Paul met the Lord on the road to Damascus, however, he discovered that all his religious works and credentials meant nothing. The only way we can become acceptable before God is through receiving the saving grace of Christ, and that's how Paul's sin was replaced with a righteous spirit. A servant of sin into a servant of God. Paul had been hostile toward the early church, promoting blasphemy, punishing believers, and voting for them to be punished with death. Yet after his salvation, he became a dedicated missionary who spread the gospel wherever he could. Our Father turned one of the early church's worst enemies into a wise and repentant leader whose writings we still read to this day. We can commit to obey the Lord and see what happens. God is faithful to complete the good works he has begun in you. I know for me personally, I'm proof that every sinner has a future, and that every saint has a past. And I fully believe in the healing power of God. And I think being on the ethics committee, it's important for us to remember, should we have any cases before us, that even if people do err, there is hope for a better future. Yes.
Thank you so much, Deborah.
You're welcome.
Agenda item number 5 is we skipped number 4. Can we all stand for the pledges of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Agenda item 5 is the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to accept the agenda as it is printed?
So moved.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve our agenda. Any questions or changes? None? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved. Our sixth agenda item is the approval of our minutes from our last meeting. If you would take a moment to review those minutes and see if there are any changes or adjustments that need to be made. And if we are seeing no changes that need to be made, we have a motion to accept our minutes of our last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept our minutes from our previous meeting. If no changes are needed, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, our minutes from our previous meeting are approved. I see and am aware of no old business. Is there by chance any new business? Okay.
If I could, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Lord,
this is not new business, but we've got a lot of newer people on here, and I've always said as I sat here, since we don't have any business means this committee is working. The fact that you exist is something that acts as a prophylactic for all the ethics people that are bound by the ethics thing. They don't want to come up here. They don't want to have a public hearing on whether they've done right or wrong. So the fact, don't feel like, since we don't have anything coming before this commission for a ruling, don't feel like we're not doing our job, because the very fact that you exist in and of itself means that it's working.
Good. Any other comments or business that anyone's aware of? Okay. Our next meeting is scheduled for August 9th at 8:30 a.m. in the large assembly. And if there's no other business to come before the Ethics Committee, we are adjourned.